Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomot. I got a great guest today with me. We've spoken before. He has a fight coming up this week. Today's Saturday, so a week from yesterday, fighting in Clearwater. He is the co-main event on this card. I got with me Royal Ryan Reber in the building. My guy, he has a fight Friday. Welcome back, Ryan, man. I hope all's doing well with you. Let me know what's going on.
Man, what's not going on? Man, I'm just grinding, man. I'm just putting in the work, man, grinding. I took that L last year, and it shit got me decent, man. So yeah, I just been back in the lab ever since. Kept my mouth shut and just keep grinding, man.
It's been 8 months. Does it feel like it's been that long, or does it feel longer for you? Because you're a
I don't know,
fighter.
man. I mean, if you think about it in that perspective, I guess yeah. But then again, time flies so fast, man, that it's like, damn, it's been 8 months. When I really go back and think about it, I'm like, wow, that was 8 months ago. So,
what
I've had 8 months to get in the lab and get back to work, man. And that's exactly what I did.
what did you do differently? What have you been doing to sharpen your tools?
Man, first and foremost, I changed camps. And it wasn't necessarily that the camp I had before was bad, but I was getting overworked, and I tell these guys something and they wouldn't really listen. And, you know, you are just as good as the people that you're around, and my old coach was a good coach, man, but, I had to reach out for a little bit better, man. Guys that are more, you know, tuned towards the bare knuckle game, not just towards the boxing game. He was more of a boxing coach, and did real well with the kids, and yeah, man. I had to switch up teams a little bit, switch up head coaches, and I mean there wasn't too much that I really had to adjust. Just make sure I didn't overwork myself, you know. And that was one of the biggest things. There's one thing to train hard, but there's one thing to just do too much, man. And last camp I was doing a little too much, man. Um, I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't take it serious, man, but it's crazy because like coming off of that loss, man, it did something to me, man. It really put a fire up under my ass because winning all the time does nothing for you. It's until you find out who you are after a loss. So now we're gonna figure out who I am after this loss. And when I went to Game Bread and took that loss, of course I was on a 4-day notice. But what did I do when I came back? I fought a Travis Thompson, a very good Travis Thompson that had 9 fights compared to my 3, and beat him in a 6-round war. So, you know, I look to dial back in and have the same results, man.
When you say you overworked, how do you overwork? I mean, I've heard it before, but how did you? What were they doing that was just when you did you just feel spent
Oh,
when
I
you
was
got to the fight?
depleted, man. I was on fight weight like 3 weeks out, and I
Oh,
asked my
wow.
coach, my boxing coach, hey man, instead of coming to the gym and doing more strength and conditioning stuff, why don't we work on technique and the things that I need to work on, And for Blas, he had me chained to another opponent maybe about 6 feet apart, sparring chained with somebody. I'm like, do you think this is a good idea, to do shit like this before I'm fighting a inside explosive fighter that likes to come forward? So I let these guys run the show and handle it, and I just said nothing and worked and worked. And I had that David Goggins mentality to where like nobody's gonna outwork me. I'm gonna work until I die. And bro, I almost worked until I died. And there was also some decisions that I made 6 weeks out that weren't champion level decisions, man. So now that I've been to that highest level, and Blas is one of the best, man. He's look what he's doing, bro. So to beat a guy like him, that's the ultimate goal for me anyway. You know what I mean? And I want that fight back so bad. So May 2nd, I got to go out and prove myself again. And if they want to give me another one after that, but everybody's ducking him. Everybody's scared to fight him. And you guys got to understand, like, he ain't knocked me out. He hit me in the eye, and I couldn't see. I'm looking for my eyeball rolling around. Plus, people give me shit about complaining about the weight difference, man. But I mean, fuck, bro. Bro was 20 pounds bigger the next day. I'm like, bro, I didn't get the memo that we was fighting that fucking lightweight. But once again, it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. And, sometimes you don't figure out that part of the game until it's too late. You know what I mean? So I was just, there was a lot of things that I had to do differently, so I put on a little bit of muscle, I'm walking around a little bit bigger, and I never really had a problem cutting weight or making weight, man. So, you know, uh, it still ain't going to be a problem. But, like I said, I had to put on a little, man. So I'm dialed back in, man. And it's weird to say that I'm not necessarily taking this fight more serious, but I'm taking Matt Guymon as if he is a 5-0 undefeated guy towards a 2-0 undefeated guy. You know what I mean? And I'm sure the kid is tough. Nobody comes out into a fight not confident and not fucking looking to win, man. And, he would love nothing more than to come and take me out. But I feel like I've made every single preparation in camp to make sure that that does not happen. And I don't believe in luck. So there will be no lucky punches. It's all based upon energy and skill. And I've proved that, over and over and over again, man. So, once again, you are who you hang out with. My friends are Julian Lane, Dave Mundell. Those are the guys that I stay around and I train with and I learn from. And, I train with their coaches. And I went back with some of those coaches, some of those guys that are just real solid stand-up fighting guys that understand the game a little bit differently than just a boxing perspective, because we all know the sport, it ain't boxing. You know what I mean? It's way different than boxing. Not way different, but a lot different. You know what I
It's
mean?
different. It's definitely
You
different.
can't stand in the pocket and you know exchange like you normally would, or guess what? It's a 50-50 fight at that point in time, and I don't give a shit who you are. So if I stand in the middle and I'm just throwing while, Matt Guymon's throwing, it's going to be a 50-50 fight. So what did I work on? I'm working on my head movement. I'm working on my more elusiveness. I'm working on my footwork. I've worked on, all these things to make sure that when I go into this fight, I'm more than ready. And, what makes me know that I'm more than ready? The people in my corner that have told me how much I've tremendously stepped up. My sparring partners, my coaches, so those are all good things to hear at the end of camp. And I mean, honestly, I didn't overwork myself. When the days that I felt like I needed a rest, I didn't do as much, or I kept the work light. So that way, like on a day like today, I woke up at 9 a.m, met my coach over at the park. We did probably an hour's worth of between weighted sprints and regular sprints on a hill. Like I said, in the morning when I hate operating, and then I went right into the gym and I sparred, I think 15 straight 2-minute rounds, with with 5 different sparring partners, one of them being Julian Lane. And, that guy don't, even if he's taking it light, it ain't too fucking light. But, my elusiveness and my speed kept me away from him, man. And, that's where I know that the level up is real, man. And, I had to do things differently this fight, man. I have to.
Coming
So
in to the last fight, you mentioned you were on weight 3 weeks prior to the fight. I mean, what does that do to your body? Because that's
it's
you're
just
not supposed to
depleted,
be
man.
you're not supposed to be on weight 3 weeks before a fight. And I'm not a
No.
fighter.
No, hell no. And I worried about that. And I'm like, shit, man. And for whatever reason, I already had the flight scheduled to go to Vegas 2 weeks out before the fight. I went out to Vegas 2 weeks before the fight, and I'm sure you've been to Vegas, man. And that energy, bro, it's too much. I couldn't sleep out there. So I mean, like 2 weeks before the fight, I probably, I'm lacking sleep. My nutrition wasn't bad, but I like I said, I worked so much, I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't keep enough calories in my body to keep a good weight. And I like to stay around, if I'm not in camp, around 150. If I'm in camp, I get down to about 145 and I hover right there. So, as we talk right now, I'm about 145. You know what I mean? And I've cleaned up my eating even more. My water intake is a lot better. That was another thing. Like, bro, I can't stand drinking a whole lot of water, man. And, especially when you're not thirsty, that was another thing. So dehydration was a real thing. And you get all these things. So I got all these things, piling up that I'm just trying to push to the side, push to the side, push to the side. And then boom, here comes fight night. And honestly, I felt like I slept well. I didn't get in my own head. As soon as we walked down and we reweighed back in, I could hear him and his team walk back down. And when they reweighed back in, I heard the doctor say 154.5. And I looked over at my coach and I was like, yo, what? And
What'd you
then it
weigh?
just hit, and I was 141. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck, bro. He's gonna fuck me up. He's gonna run right. He's gonna try to, and I just, and it wasn't the mindset to have, because everybody knows who's involved in combat or, does combat, whether you're a trainer, whether you're a fighter. That's not the mindset you want to go in. I should have had the mindset like, I don't give a fuck if he's 200 pounds. I don't care. I'm coming in there and taking what's mine. But a highly spiritual, explosive athlete like him, you better have your T's crossed and your I's dotted if you think you're going to beat somebody like him, man. And, back to the drawing board, and that's what it is.
So you mentioned you thought your eye got knocked out of your. I mean,
Well,
legitimately,
I
did you think
mean,
that your eye got?
realistically, I just didn't I didn't know. I didn't know if my orbital was broke, because when he hit
Okay.
me, his knuckle went directly into my eyeball. So,
Yeah.
like I told him, I ate his best shot, ate it right to the chin, got my ass right back up. Then he hit me again with the eye shot, and when I went down, like if you ever like poked in the eye, or you hold your eye like this, you lose the vision in it.
Yeah.
So I lost the vision in it for a couple seconds, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I didn't know how bad my eye was split. Not like that fucking mattered, because I didn't really care about that, but it was more of the vision. And what I didn't want to happen is, okay, I get back up and then he knocks me out. Because, to see somebody like, for an example, Keith, how he did Keith, he was fucking gone, bro. He was fighting the ref. That's
he tried to take the ref down, right?
Right, bro. It's like, holy shit. And you look at Larimore, what happened to Larimore versus Keith? You know what I mean? Like, he melted, bro. He hit him so fucking hard, he melted. I was like, you know what I mean? And that's like, and I know Larimore's a tough fighter. I know he's a good fighter, but it's like, that's where I say there's levels to this shit, man. And if you don't have all those things in order, it could be an early night for you, man. So, there was a lot of things against me, man. And I hate, using excuses and, this happened or that happened, because none of that shit even matters, man. It really doesn't. But it's things that I feel in my mind and my heart that needed to be corrected. You know what I mean? And you can have certain fighters that be like, oh, well, the weight doesn't matter. Well, if the weight doesn't matter, then why do you do it? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that shit. They walk around heavy, they cut down late, and they weight bully the shit out of people. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, if we're fucking killing each other to make a certain weight, then why is it necessary to rehydrate back up 2 weight classes bigger for an advantage? I mean, in my opinion, that shit's whack, but you can't beat them, join them, man. So, I'm like, bro, I got to get I got to get my muscle up. I got to, there's a couple things I got to correct. And I feel like I said, I've corrected those things. So come May 2nd.
Did you think about dropping to 25?
It's just one of those things, too, where I'm already big for 35 if I keep my weight right. I mean, could I do it? Maybe, but one of those things where if I go, like, I feel like my chin's good at 35. You know what I mean? And I've proved that over and over. So you go down to 25. Now I don't got no fucking water in my brain. That you get touched, bing, and those lights go out. And I don't care how fucking tough you are, any of that shit. You get hit in the right spot, you're out of there. And I've been hitting that chin a couple of different times by a couple of different high-level guys. So it's like, I know I got a chin.
When did you last fight in Clearwater? Or at home? I mean, home area,
amateur.
Like Tampa.
I was an amateur.
What is it like for you? You don't. I mean, I'm sure they still let you stay in a hotel or have you in a hotel if you want to. I presume, or they don't. You stay at your house?
This venue is 5 minutes from my house.
So the hotel would be further.
I'm gonna Uber there. I made a joke like, hey man, you guys just call me and I'm gonna get right up off my couch, go whoop this dude's ass, and I'm gonna go back home, because I could. You know what I mean? Like, fuck sitting around in the tent and this and that. Like, I'm literally they could call me and I could be there in 5 minutes, geared up, ready to go. I could have my coach here in my fucking living room warming me up.
Is this a place you hang? Is this a place you hang out at, or
oh yeah, I mean, so it's like, and I read Matt Guymon's little fucking thing he did with Clay earlier, and he was talking about how he was gonna knock me out and stop me and whatever the fuck he was saying, and he's supposed to say all that, and he's like, oh, I thrive off of coming to other people's backyards. Well, let me tell you something, bro. When I tell people I brought the city with me, I sold almost 20,000 in tickets and could have doubled that if they had more seats. They ran out of seats. I couldn't even sell no more. But I mean, between the people that purchased the ticket off of me to the people that are going to be there from Clearwater, they're all going to be rooting for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the way it's going to go, man. So when you get in there, and he's never been around that energy, he's never experienced nothing like that. And Matt, you're fucking welcome, bro, because without me, you wouldn't have a co-main event spot. Without me, you wouldn't be fighting in Florida. So, you know, the whole narrative at first for him that he wanted to run with was, oh, Reber's scared of me. Reber's scared of me. And like, people were sending me the screenshots of him saying this shit, and I wouldn't even reply because I don't give a fuck. It was until Justin Martinez, one of his teammates or somebody that knows him from the area, tagged me in the post because I was supposed to fight him in Connecticut. Like, bro wasn't even on my fucking radar. Like, whatever, keep winning, maybe we have a fight. But I guess he called me out. Nate Shook probably seen that and was like, oh, that might be a good matchup for Reber for a comeback fight in Connecticut. Had the contract, don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if they made it look like I didn't sign the contract. That's what they told him, but he totally ran with that narrative like I was scared to fight him. I'm like, bro, are you fucking high? Maybe, because I fear no man, especially in the 135 division, and I've already fought the best in the 135 division. You think I'm fucking scared of you? I got on his post, started talking some shit, and then I inboxed him. I'm like, I ain't even done. My inbox is fucking full. And he's like, oh, well, it was kind of funny, right, bro? I said, yeah, it was fucking hilarious, bro. I said, just hold your fucking horses, bro, because your time's coming. So no words were said for months, and then all of a sudden he gets a contract like, hey, you're fighting Reber in Clearwater. You know, and I'm sure he was kind of excited about that. It's an opportunity. Shit. You know what I mean? But, Matt, like I said, you ain't as fast as me. You don't hit hard as I mean, one of his biggest things is you ain't knocked anybody out. Bro, that's because I lacerate you to fuck up to where you ain't making it out of a couple of rounds. You know, and let's talk about the power that I had before I was even doing anything that I'm doing when I broke Rick Russo's fucking skull. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't forget who I fought and, you know, the things that I've already overcome. So for him to think he's coming in here at fucking 2-0 and he maybe he does give me a little bit of a problem, but that's up to me to decide. You know what I mean? Because I'm the one who's putting in the work for this shit. So the only way you beat me is if I beat myself, is the way that I see it, man.
Is this an outdoor facility? Because I plan on coming up there to cover the event live. And
It's
it looks
like
like
a
it's
half.
like a
It's like under a
okay.
pavilion.
Okay. So is
It's
this like
pretty
a
cool, man.
restaurant? Because I saw it's Orange. Is that's the Orange County that did the motorcycles
Yep.
and
It's like a
oh,
restaurant museum
okay.
slash whole outdoor area. It's so I went to the fights last year, and when I heard they were coming here, I was like, what? I was like,
Mhm.
that's kind of weird. And then we went, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I never really thought like I would actually fight there because, bro, I'm fighting in the Hard Rock, I'm fighting in Connecticut Casino, I'm fighting. You know, the lowest venue I feel like I fought at to this point was probably the fairgrounds, and that's not even a real low venue. You know what I mean? So this is probably the lowest venue that I fought in, but because it's literally in my backyard, it just everything like when I say I'm a spiritual person, I pay attention to energy and the way things align, and everything that's aligning up for this is just been amazing. So I'm just like it worked out perfect because if I would have fought him in Connecticut, then who? If I would have been healthy enough to fight on this card come May, who would the opponent have been? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what better time, man? So everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. I feel like.
So you on this card, you mentioned you changed gyms. So which gym are you at now? Is Jared Warren at that gym or is he at a
No,
different
so
gym?
Jared Warren trains in Tampa. Like all those
Okay.
guys saying it's their backyard, it's kind of their backyard.
Okay.
But I mean, this is literally they're Tampa. I'm in Clearwater, and
Yeah.
this is in Clearwater. So
Okay.
you know, it's kind of their backyard too. You know, it's close enough to be.
Okay. So you train the same gym with Mundell?
So I don't. He comes down to my gym, which is MJM. He'll come to Clearwater and train with us on
Hmm.
a couple days a week, Saturday. Like he's helped me prepared a lot in the beginning for this fight, in the
Hmm.
first couple weeks of training camp.
Did you see the fights today, this
I
afternoon?
did. I did.
What did you think of there was one knockout where a dude I'm getting some feedback here. Where he got clipped and was on the rope and was just
Oh, I seen that shit. He melted. He melted him, bro. But I mean, I feel like that stems from not hydrating correctly, cutting too much fucking weight, because everybody wants to be a weight bully, like I said. But that's why I want to fight Alberto so bad again, because I really want to test that chin. I really want to take him into deep waters. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? That's and what that would make my fight career complete, to be a guy like that. You know what I mean? So once again, he's hasn't really been tested, unfortunately, man. He's pretty much that fucking good, but I feel like my skills are that good too, because I seen his boxing match with um Timmy Mason, who fought Brandon Allen just a fight ago, before Brandon Allen just took that loss. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's definitely fucking beatable, man. Like, he got his ass kicked in that boxing match, and somehow they paid to have it taken down. The only place where you can find it is on Timmy's fucking Instagram. And I was just scrolling to see who Timmy was when he fought Brandon, just to see, I wanted to see how good he was, or who he even really was. And I came across that fight, and I was like, what the fuck? And I watched the fight, and this dude fucking shot in a double leg. That's the type of shit. So you get into Alberto's head, it could be a short night for him, man. Like, I see that. But I mean, I get why he said he's different and he's so fucking confident. Because, bro, when you can make a small weight and then you can fucking pack on 20 fucking pounds, that's pretty fucking impressive, man. I was pretty impressed with that, more than I was like, yo, fuck. And like I said, I can't take nothing away from him. I mean, I think it's bullshit personally, but it's part of the game, bro.
You're ranked now fourth right now behind Richardson and Justin Ibarola. What are your thoughts of those guys? Because if you win on Friday, you,
When I win,
though,
when I win on
hey,
Friday.
I'm media. I
I'm
gotta
just
say
kidding,
if.
bro. I'm just kidding. I
I
gotta put it
gotta
out there.
no. Hey, that's the energy you have to put out always. But after that fight, you're looking at one of these guys.
Yeah,
What are
but
your
yeah,
thoughts of those guys?
absolutely. Um, I mean, I personally would rather fight Justin than Keith. I really like Keith, and I just feel like Keith, once again, just coming off of a bad knockout. I really, I, I don't know where, it's with Keith, it's like a double-edged sword. If I go out there and I beat Keith, I feel like I've accomplished because Keith's a really high-level fighter, in my opinion. But, if I beat Keith, it's like, oh, he lost it. And if I lose to Keith, it's like, you got knocked out, or you're not knocked out, because I don't see myself getting knocked out, but you got beat by a dude that just got knocked out. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck. But Justin's got the clout right now. He's fucking, yeah, and I like Justin. You know what I'm saying? Me and Justin had plenty of good conversations. But it's the fight game, bro. And if you're fucking too scared to fight Blas, then fight me, because he don't want to fight Blas. You can tell. And maybe they got something lined up for July. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it doesn't seem like a fight that he wants. So I'm sure he's scheduled a fight in Miami on that up and coming card, which I think was in July. Is it going to be versus Blas? I don't know. But we'll see. That's one that I definitely would like to fight. But I mean, if they're like, hey, you got to fight fucking Keith next, I mean, fuck, bro, we fight Keith next. I really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I fear none of these men.
So yeah, they are scheduled for July 12th at the Hard Rock again.
Yep.
If you get through this fight without any abrasions, cuts that keep you out, because cuts obviously are the worst. They're worse than bruises, obviously, because if you have cuts,
Oh,
the stitches, the
100%.
whole nine.
Well,
If
to
you get
me,
a
I don't even care about the cuts. It's more the hands, man.
oh,
As
okay,
long as my hands are good, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
that's what kind of slowed me down in the Quentin Foy fight. When I
okay.
asked Quentin Foy after the fight, I said, "Who's a tougher fight, me or Justin?" He said, "You were, bro." And that's keeping it real, bro. And if you
Yeah.
want to lie and say he didn't say that shit, he 100% said that. Like, the one thing about me, man, is like, I stay very true to myself, man. I am the same person behind closed doors as I am in front of you guys, this camera. That's why everything comes so natural to me, man. Like, I just really, like, I'm just in tune with it, man. I'm dialed in always.
Would you be willing or interested or able to jump from May 2nd to July 12th to fight in the Hard Rock? It's
Yeah,
close.
absolutely. It should be enough time. I mean, because the thing is I'd like to keep the ball rolling, man. You know what I mean? Like, why pump the fucking brakes? Get in there, take maybe a week off, and get right back in there. Because, like I said, I understand the training now, to where You don't if you're a guy like me who trains year round, I don't just get the fucking phone call. I'm like, oh shit, it's time to fight, time to start fight camp. Like I'm training all the fucking time. The only difference is I'm not training twice a day, and I may train every other day towards every day, and shit like that, just to stay in shape. Because I feel like it's super like you look at a guy like Patty Pembleton, for example. He goes out there and looks amazing at 155
I was
physique
gonna
wise,
say it. I was
and
gonna
then he
say
fucking
it.
flows up like a fat boy. It's like, bro, you're just disrespecting yourself, bro. Like I get it, and that's fucking dangerous, bro. Like, and Dave used to do that too, because I've been around Dave for a couple years now too. But he's more disciplined now to not go balloon up to fucking 205 and then cut down to 75 anymore. He walks around, I think, at maybe 90, 89-ish. So it's not too bad of a weight cut for him anymore. But I mean, that's how I feel it should be. You shouldn't just after this camp, I'm gonna go fucking eat McDonald's and drink a bunch of milkshakes. And I mean, maybe one day, just because I haven't even, driving by all these fast food places, like fuck, man, like I'm very, very fucking disciplined when it comes to eating. And that's another mental thing. Like I think about it like, what's Matt Guymon eating? I think he likes to eat pizza. He likes to eat that. I already got the advantage over you, bro. Just in that department. I look at other things. I already got the advantage over you, bro. I watch film. I already got the advantage over you, bro. He says he sees the holes in my game. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm correcting those holes that you guys think that you see. And in order to reach me, you must move to me. And when you move to me, it's always going to give me that chance to fucking hit you with a goddamn counter. And them counters is what I'm good at. And I don't know why, I've always been a back foot fighter, man. So I've learned really well how to fight on my back foot. Even with the Perez fight, the first punch I hit him with, I knocked his front tooth completely loose out of his mouth. Like he had to get that tooth removed. And I don't know how the fuck he ate that shit. But I think his determination of not wanting to lose that fight was just so strong that he couldn't believe it. Hit him. He looked back at me, and then he grabbed me and started feeding me those uppercuts, and I had to take the knee just because I was so fucking shocked he ate that punch, because I cracked him. And mind you, guys, I wasn't working with my personal trainer. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't working with Nick Ruiz, who's Dave Mundell's personal trainer. So he's the guy that's unlocked my true potential and my power. I mean, you look at the guys he's training. Dave, he's knocking people out. Jessica Borga got that huge knockout. We just working with her. Julian Lane, what was his last fight? It was a knockout. And, all these people he's working with. So like I always say, show me your friends, I'm going to show you your future. You around 4 knockout artists, guess who's going to become the 5th one? This guy, So I just feel like I can beat Matt in every aspect of this fucking fight. Come out and show me something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Big mouth Matt. You know what I mean? Always running that fucking trap. But whatever, bro. It's part of the fight game. I'm with it, bro.
So
I
I go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I got a couple more for you before we wrap up. Talk about your management team, All In, and what they've been doing to help push your career forward, because
Man,
obviously they're really involved in
I absolutely love him, bro. Vic, he works hard for us fighters, man, and I can't hold him accountable for too much shit, man, because we're all men at the end of the day, and we all, can make mistakes or have, certain things happen. His team that he's surrounded with, they help me out so much, man. So it's like, I really love and appreciate those guys down there, man. I really do. They make the fight life easier for me, especially, Sam, when she's making sure I got all my medicals, and if I need help finding anything, they help me. And, they just take care of me, man. And for that, I appreciate. So I stay loyal, man. I've had First Round reach out to me and wanted to fucking sign me. And I said, nah, bro, I'm staying loyal to my guys, man. And, I just expect the same thing back. That's it, man. And I know I fucking, fumbled the bag a little bit in the last one, and people may have been disappointed, or, I'm sure there was talks behind closed doors where, I probably wouldn't have liked those conversations, but that's okay, man. Because like I said, they're giving me another opportunity to right the wrong. And, those guys didn't give up on me. So I would never give up on them, man. And, they help me the best that they can, man. And for those guys, Vic, man, Sam, all you guys, man, I'm forever appreciative of you, man.
You mentioned Jessica Borga. I mean, she had that fight recently in Dubai. I mean, that was an absolute. Uh, Jessica Borga had that fight in Dubai. So you train it with her trainer. I mean, what did you think of that? I mean, that performance was was a slaughter job. And
Oh,
I
I
mean,
mean,
unbelievable.
and that
What
girl
were your
was
thoughts?
fucking big, bro. She was way bigger. And Jessica cracks me up, bro, because we'll be in the gym and I'm always just cracking jokes and fucking around, you know what I mean, to make training more interesting. So she was telling me, like, I only walk around at like 147. I'm like, you're tripping. I'm like, why don't you fight at 35? She's like, I just don't like the cut. I'm like, girl, it's fucking less than 10 pounds. I'm like, you're a savage, man. She's different, bro. She's different, man. And I fucking love her, bro. Like, she's just different. And, those are the people, like I said, man. I mean, when I set off in this game, I knew it was very important that you got to choose your people wisely. You know what I mean? So, like I say, bro, those are the people that I choose to surround myself with, man. And they're awesome fucking people.
What are your thoughts of this fight that now has been scheduled with Dave Mundell and Donald Sanchez in New Mexico?
I mean, I've grown to like Donald Sanchez, but Dave's my motherfucking brother, man. And I I think it's going to be pretty easy work for him. I really do. I think Dave's that fucking good, man. I really do.
Mhm.
And I mean, look, like, let me rewind that a little bit. I don't want to say easy work, bro, because Donald's tough, man. And like I said, I like Donald, man. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, you know what I'm saying, until I have to be. But, I like them both, man. And this is his opportunity, man. So we'll see what he could do. See what Donald can do, man. But once again, I know Dave personally. I've trained with Dave. I spar with Dave. He's fucking slick, man. And I learn a lot of good things from him, man. And, you know, like I said, I can't wait to come out and just broadcast this, what I've been working on.
So what's the plan for this week now that it's fight week pretty much. It's
Yeah.
late Saturday, this will be up by tomorrow,
I
Sunday.
mean, all the hard
So
work's done, brother. Like I
Mhm.
said, I did my last hard session today. I mean, I went so hard I couldn't even get off my couch to fucking walk, man. I almost had to hit you back and say, bro, I can't do this today. But I conjured up the energy, man. So I was like, all right, good. We're back. We're back at the high energy level, man. So I was like, it just, it gets all this stuff leading up to the fight, the interviews, the talks, but I don't really give myself anxiety no more, because one thing that I stress, especially in this training camp more than others, which I did before, was my meditation. I use a guided headspace meditation app to where I lock in on that shit every day, man. So when I start going into the future or to the past, I just stop, because those things don't exist. Yes, we can prepare for the future, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? So why even worry about what Matt's gonna do or what he's saying, or what's gonna happen May 2nd? I just got to make sure that I've done everything in my power to make sure that whatever he's thinking or whatever he's saying or whatever he said doesn't come into fruition, and it won't.
I do have one more thing that I thought of before we wrap up. One, I'm going to give you your final words on this fight for Matt Guymon. But before that, as it's a pavilion comparison to fighting in an arena or a stadium, in an enclosed where there's air conditioning the whole nine. We're talking about May in Florida.
Oh,
Does
I
that
love it,
have
bro.
does that have an
No, hell
impact to
no.
you?
Nope. Because I'd way rather be warm and hot
Mhm.
than fucking in a back room at a hotel, cold as fuck in the back room, warming up. Because I never
Gotcha.
get a real good warm up. And that's one thing we're going to change this fight camp too. Or this fight, I should say, is, I'm going to have a nice warm, because I like to be warm. Now, for you guys watching the fight,
Mhm.
sorry. But you know what? I was at the venue last night for a boxing
Mhm.
event,
Okay.
and they have huge ass fans in there on the ceiling. It was very cool and calm, and it was not muggy and hot. And I don't think that's going to change in 1 week. So, it was actually very nice, man. It was actually very nice, man. And
Where
like I say, bro, like, I'd rather be warming up in the heat than trying to get fucking warm in a cold room.
but for a guy like who's coming into town, is Matt Guyman's out of Kansas, right?
Hmm.
I see here.
We're not in Kansas no
For
more.
someone who's coming from out of town, maybe are they maybe does that affect them a little differently? That humidity, it's South Florida humidity. I
I
mean,
mean, it could. I mean, he's like, like I said, I seen in his little interview, he was like, oh, I thrive off this. Oh, we gonna fucking see, bro. We gonna see how much you thrive off this shit because
Uh,
I thrive off this shit. And I got my fucking crazy back, bro. So, you know, I'm
so I
I'm I'm
so I
willing to
got
die in that motherfucker,
so,
bro. And
so
I
I
ain't
gotta
ready
bring
to
a
die.
fan. I gotta bring a portable fan with me, is what you're saying. Okay. I
Yeah.
need a portable fan for sure. What are your final words to Matt Guymon on this fight? What are you last final thoughts?
Big Mouth Matt, you better fucking back up that shit talk you was talking, brother, because you weren't even on my radar. And I told you, bro, I told you I'd get a fight with you, man. I said, just stay calm, stay ready, and you'll see me for all that shit talking you do. And at the end of the day, it's no bad blood. I'm just gonna come out there and fucking spark this man. So it is what it is, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Ryan Reber. Folks, co-main event next Friday, May 2nd in Clearwater. Don't miss it. If you catch it on TV, whether it's I don't know if it's on the Zone or if it's on the BKFC
Nah,
app,
this
but
one will
catch
be
it
on
on
the
TV.
app, baby.
It's on the
So
app, so check it out on the BKFC app. And if you're in Clearwater and you can find a way to get some tickets, Reber's
good
got none
luck.
left. Good luck, but it'll be a packed house up in there.
Oh yeah.
And looking forward to this. Again, thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate you as usual. Folks, this is Combat Corner. Like, subscribe, and follow. Hit that bell. Leave a comment. And I'll have Reber's social media in the description. Follow him. Give him a shout. Appreciate y'all. Come
Hey,
on now.
appreciate you, brother.